I'm still late with Beck. He's writing with the Night, so it's Bookworm Buddy.
And writer Literary Larry, back for telling the stories of these Night and Modka book, and with the Tell They Say Please, just a very quick venture before we dive into it.
Welcome back to Between the Pages with Betty and Larry, where we dive into the latest reads without taking ourselves too seriously.
And buddy, you say too seriously, but I still remember the sentient teacup incident that left you a sobbing mess last week. Anyway, moving on to today's star, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. Betty, this one has been absolutely everywhere, fluttering all over Publishers Weekly's list. What's the initial buzz about this title that caught your eye?
Oh, it absolutely has been everywhere. And honestly, Larry, when I first saw the title, I thought, okay, is this some deep, dark medieval tragedy where a knight accidentally falls in love with a literal, perhaps oversized insect? Because some fantasy authors go there. But thankfully, no actual insect romance. Though knowing the genre, I wouldn't put it past them.
So no Sir Lancelot battles a giant bug for love, pity, but I get it. The title is certainly intriguing. What was your very first impression when you actually cracked open the cover and started reading, especially if you were expecting a certain kind of knightly vibe?
I genuinely thought, okay, this is going to be some classic, epic, sword clashing, probably a damsel in distress needs rescuing kind of story. Very straightforward, heroic fantasy. But it's so much more nuanced than that. The knight is, he is a knight, but he comes with a surprising amount of emotional baggage, which, let's be honest, makes for way better reading than just endless clanging sword fights. He's complex.
So he's less of the stoic, unflappable hero and more of the brooding, emotionally complicated type. What exactly makes this particular knight so angsty without giving away any major spoilers, of course?
He's definitely the brooding, angsty type. There are layers to his past, duties he feels trapped by, and a general sense of melancholy that just drips off the pages. It's not just, I'm a knight, I'm sad. It's woven into his very being and his motivations, which really drives this story forward. You find yourself constantly trying to figure out what's weighing him down so heavily, and it makes you so invested in his journey.
That sounds like my kind of character, honestly. Now, let's talk about the moth part. That's the real curveball in the title. How does that element weave into the narrative? Is it like a delicate, perhaps magical metaphor, or does it become something unexpectedly literal later on?
You're on the right track with delicate and magical metaphor. It's really clever how Rachel Gillick weaves it in. It's not a literal moth, but it brings this incredibly ethereal, almost fragile yet deeply significant layer to the story. It connects to the themes of transformation, vulnerability, and perhaps even fate. It adds this unique atmosphere that makes the book feel very distinct. It's truly a central and intriguing element.
So it adds the atmosphere. Does this book read more into dark fantasy, or is it a lighter, more whimsical read? What kind of world building can readers expect?
It definitely leans towards a dark fairy tale feel. It's got that atmospheric quality with hidden secrets, ancient curses, and a touch of gothic charm. The world building isn't overly dense with complicated magic systems, but it's incredibly immersive. You feel the dampness of the castle, the weight of the knight's armor, the mystery of the moth. It's more about the mood and the hidden corners of the world than sprawling maps. And the characters are just delightfully messy in the best way possible.
Messy characters are always my favorite. They make mistakes, they grow. Is this a fast-paced page-turner or more of a slow burn that you savor?
I would say it's more of a captivating slow burn. It's not about constant explosions or frantic chases. It's about unraveling mysteries, the slow build of tension, and the complex evolution of relationships. You find yourself getting drawn deeper and deeper without even realizing it, and then certainly you're 300 pages in and can't put it down. It's got a really compelling narrative pull.
I did experience that pull myself. I mean, I went in expecting something I'd skim, but then suddenly I was fully invested, wondering why this night was so darn angsty and what exactly was up with the mod. Gillick just has a way of pulling you into their world.
Right? And the writing, Larry, it's just beautiful. There are lines where I literally stopped and reread them thinking, wow, that's good. It's evocative and poetic without being overly flowery. It really enhances that dark fairy tale atmosphere we talked about.
So for anyone out there who's seen The Night and the Moth on the bestseller list and might be hesitant wondering if this is just another generic fantasy, what's your final no-holds-barred verdict, Betty?
Absolutely not. It is anything but generic. It's got heart, it's got intrigue, it's got a wonderfully unique charm, and it definitely stands out from the pack. If you like your fantasy with a side of emotional depth, characters you can actually connect with, even if they're a bit dramatic and mopey, and a story that truly makes you think, this is absolutely for you. It's one of those books that sticks with you long after you've finished reading it.
On your famous meh to must read it again immediately scale, where does The Night and the Moth land for you?
Oh, definitely a strong stay up all night and regret nothing kind of read. It completely hooked me, and I already want to dive back in to catch all the subtle clues I missed. It's just that good.
High praise indeed. Well, that's our deep dive into The Night and the Moth. Go check it out and tell us what you thought.
And we'll see you next time for more literary adventures where no teacup goes uncried over.